Hi everyone, welcome to Linden Hill Farmstead, where my husband Adam and I share from scratch skills for everyday life. This time of year, garden season begins, even when it's still chilly outside. Every year, the early part of garden season seems to go like this. After the holidays, I need something to look forward to, so when January and February roll around, I start getting excited to plan the year's garden. Seed catalogs start arriving early in the year, and I am one of those people who check the mail for something as simple as a seed catalog. Then I start planning. This year, I built a whole spreadsheet because I'm a nerd like that, and yes, I am happy to share it because it has helped me stay on track with what to plant and when and all of the details surrounding my plant babies. I will definitely include the free version of my garden planner spreadsheet in the description below, and you may find a more robust paid version if you are coming to this later as well. By February and March, I'm placing seed orders online, picking up local seeds, and by late March and early April, my parents and I are visiting local greenhouses and stores to pick up early season plants and starts like seed potatoes and onion transplants. It's awesome having my parents living on the same property because that means we get to tag team garden stuff, and boy is that a huge undertaking, so I'm really glad to have them. So we're picking up things like seed potatoes and onion transplants, and that's where we are in the season right now. With some snow still on the ground earlier this season, the kids and I did take a trip to our local seed store to grab our favorites and some new seeds to try so that we could be ready when it came time to plant. And that's where we are in the season right now. However, before I get ahead of myself, let me tell you a little bit about how we ordered seeds this year. So earlier this season, with some snow still on the ground, the kids and I took a trip to our favorite local seed store to grab our favorite seeds and some new to try so that we could be ready when it came time to plant. Even if you're not in South Central PA, give Roar Seeds a try. You can order online or visit their store if you are local. They're awesome, and we always have great success with the seed stock that they carry. Also, totally recommend bringing the kids to any seed store or greenhouse that you visit because they love to help find seeds and also dream about the garden. At least mine do, and I know that my kids will always pick out one pack of their own seeds to grow. It's a learning experience for them to find out what grows in our area, when to plant certain seeds, where to plant them, and gardening in general is just an excellent life skill that I'm grateful to be able to pass on to my children, just like my parents did and honestly still do for me. Now that we got as many of our seed order as we could find at Roar Seeds, I will place an order to Baker Creek Heirloom Seeds online to round out this year's order. I like Baker Creek because they have more variety, just hundreds of seeds to choose from. And several days later, the order arrives, which is very exciting. Now we have all the seeds we need for this year's garden, and it's time to organize. So not all of the seed packages that I have are brand new to me. They're all empty because I have everything in here now. But now that everything is in here, I just wanted to show you a little bit of why I choose what I choose for each year. So I do love herbalism, and I've been into herbalism for a while. And I also have honeybees. So pollinators are super important for the garden. I want to attract honeybees, mason bees, bumblebees, all kinds of pollinators. Butterflies, don't want to attract the caterpillars, but I do want to attract the butterflies. Just to pollinate things and make sure we actually get a good yield. It's also just good for our farm and neighboring farms and everything like that. It's just good for the environment, for creation. So this year I am doing more flowers to attract pollinators and to give my honeybees something to take home to their hives to store for themselves and to also make honey for us. So, and also flowers have other good uses, like marigold, for example. Japanese beetles are a big problem around here, and so they don't love marigolds, like strong smelling flowers. They also don't love geraniums. So maybe I'll go hog wild with the marigolds and geraniums this year. We'll see. Also, marigolds do tend to keep rabbits out of the garden as well because they don't like their strong scent either. We'll see. There is mixed reviews on whether marigolds keep pests away from the garden, such as rabbits and Japanese beetles, but we're going to test it out this year. So I'm going to give that a try. Also, my kids love to make flower bouquets for our kitchen and just to give to my parents and other people. So we're planting some dahlias. My mom usually does some beautiful, she does zinnias every year, and that is huge for our pollinators as well. So, I'm also going to include some of the cut flower type things like craspedia, billy button flowers, which are just the like yellow, if you can see that, yellow flowers with like the little balls. And then straw flowers, those are good for dried flowers. I don't know that I'll get into dried flowers this year, but we're going to plant some of those. And then snapdragons. Snapdragons are really great for pollinators. Also, I can plant them now. I actually could have planted them probably a few days ago because it's not nearly as cold as it has been. And snapdragons actually can use a little bit of cold for their seeds. I actually have them in the refrigerator right now because I'd love to plant them today in our greenhouse. So their soil usually likes to have 65 to 75 degrees for actual germination, but established plants can go down to like 20 degrees. So I'm going to experiment with some snapdragons this year, and we'll see what happens. You can start them like 8 to 10 weeks before last frost date though, and so that's what I'm going to do. So we have our flowers, and also with that, herbs. I love herbs. Herbs are some of my favorite things. I've been into herbs for a long time, love herbs, have always grown herbs. I used to do more herbs than I have done in recent years. Now I'm getting back into it. So for culinary uses, that's not the only thing. Also for medicinal uses, herbalism is great. I love herbalism, and trying to train myself to be more of an herbalist. So doing lots of research and things. So we've obviously got our basil. I accidentally ordered another one of these, so now I have both 25 and 26, 2025 and 2026 seeds, but pollinators love basil as well. I'm gonna grow cumin this year, or cumin, however you say it, just because we love cumin. We love Indian food and all kinds of stuff to cook with. Calendula. Calendula is a flower, but it is also an herb and great for medicinal uses. So we're going to grow some of that this year again. Haven't done that for years, so I'm really excited to do that again. Caraway. I don't think I've ever grown caraway before, but we're going to do that because it's medicinal as well, and it's culinary. And holy basil. I'm excited about this one because 1, I love basil, and 2, I love medicinal basil. So so this one has like extra calming properties and everything. So we're going to try holy basil this year. This one was fun. I got this mostly for my children because this is butterfly pea. This one has a beautiful purpley blue flower that you can steep in a tea or make lemonade with. And according to Baker Creek, if you drop just like 1 drop of lemon juice into your tea, water, whatever that you have done with this, it will turn it like a pink color. So we're going to try that this summer for lemonade and things like that. Toothache plant, kind of self-explanatory on the medicinal thing. Thai sweet basil, this one was free. Thanks, Baker Creek. This one I've grown in the past, and I love Thai basil. I didn't get any seed for it this year, so I'm excited to grow this one as well. And then cilantro. Cilantro bolts like crazy quickly around here, so I try to keep it in the shade in the afternoons, especially when it gets hot outside. Or succession plant it, meaning like plant it every 2 weeks so that I have a continuous crop throughout the summer and it doesn't bolt immediately. But I have gotten slow bolt cilantro before. I don't remember how different it was, but we're going to do it again because we're trying to keep this stuff from bolting so I can actually can some salsa with cilantro in it, because tomatoes and cilantro, unless you succession plant, don't typically grow in the same time, at least around here in southern Pennsylvania, because cilantro has already bolted by the end of the summer, and that's when tomatoes are ready. So July and August, cilantro does not like our July and August heat around here. So we're going to do slow bolt and see what happens. And borage, these love borage. I'm probably going to plant some of this in our bee garden right around our hives. I'm going to do the same thing with the butterfly pea because this is a vine. And maybe some passion flower too. I'd like to order some passion flower medicinally, like for herbalism, but also for growing up over the top of our hives. Because in the summertime it gets really hot out there, especially for me, also for the bees, but especially for me. I would love a little bit of shade to help shade and cool, keep the beehive cool. So anyway, okay, those are all of the herbs that I have purchased this year. I do have other herbs in here. We've got bee balm. I actually did order bee balm and I don't know where that got to. Maybe I threw that one away, or it's still in my roar seeds bag. Yeah, looks like it is. Okay, I'll get these out as well. These I have obviously not put into my organization yet. So we've got lemon balm. That is another medicinal herb. You can use it in culinary uses as well, so it's great. I'm going to keep these over here though because I need to remember to put them back into this. These are all empty. So I have lemon bee balm already. The bees do love it. It's great for culinary uses as well and medicinal uses. I'll do a separate video on actual herbalism and different uses for these different herbs in a future video. And if you're lucky enough, you're watching this video where it's already linked. So look for that if you're already watching this and I've already done it. Okay, so we've got bee balm here. This is actually bergamot or bergamot. I don't know how to say it, but I know how it's used. So this is bee balm. Bees love it. Great for bees, obviously. And I've got the lemon bee balm here as well. So I do plant that. I've got beets because we love beets. We pickle beets. And I have an Amish recipe from my Amish Mennonite grandmother that I would be happy to share with you sometime this summer when we do our pickled beets and our pickled eggs. So that's a good one. Love those. And I always get Detroit dark red just because it is very dependable. So have those. Zucchini. I did get an heirloom this time because I do like to save seeds. But there are some that I have gotten hybrids before just because I don't like dealing with pests. And sometimes the hybrids are bred for that. Like for example, our cucumbers. I have Diva, which is a seedless cucumber, and an early spring burpless hybrid. Adam hates the burp taste in his mouth after eating cucumbers. So we do tend to get like a burpless variety so that you don't have that taste in your mouth. And these are also more disease resistant. So like for example, the Diva is resistant to scab and powdery mildew and cucumber vein yellow virus, which we haven't had problems with before. Maybe it's because we have grown hybrids in the past, but I like to try to grow things sometimes that are more disease resistant if we have had problems with them in the past. And we have had powdery mildew problems actually with our cucumbers now that I'm thinking about it, every year really. So I don't know why I said that. I guess I was thinking more the cucumber vein yellow virus. We haven't struggled with that, or scab, but we have had powdery mildew, and those cucumber beetles just spread them like crazy. So I have gotten hybrids on those before. Same with our spinach. That's in my leafy green pile right here. This year I'm going to try a hybrid. This is Olympia hybrid because it's resistant to bolting. And so once I finally get my spinach seeds to grow, then they immediately bolt because it's finally too hot for them. So we're going to try this one this year. So I typically do get heirlooms though, I will say that, because I like to save seeds, and that is the big reason why I get heirlooms, open pollinated things, so that I can save them year to year. You do have to be careful because depending on the plant, they can cross pollinate and give you something different in the future. But I haven't really had a problem with that yet. So we're going to continue saving seeds until I get something wonky, and then I will probably go back and just order from Baker Creek or Roar Seeds and not have a problem with it anymore. Okay, so we've got zucchini here, which is our squash. I'm going to put that in my squash pile for now. And speaking of flowers, I forgot that my daughter, my oldest, wants to grow poppies. So we're gonna put some of these in our bee garden as well. These are Falling in Love poppy from Baker Creek. So I'm gonna put those in my organizer shortly. Also for flowers, hollyhocks. I'm gonna give those a try just because they're so pretty. Look how pretty they are. Hopefully it's focusing. But so pretty and great for pollinators as well. So we're gonna give the bees a buffet this summer. These are all of my peas and beans that I have so far for this year. Oh yes, here's another flower. I keep finding things. My son wanted to plant bees and he did that last year and he wants to try them again this year. These are also great for pollinators. They are larkspur flowers and they do get tall. So we'll see where we decide to plant them, but probably in the bee garden. Also, a lot of these flowers that we have, like poppies, reseed themselves like crazy. So I would love to maybe not have those flowers in the actual garden. I love to attract the pollinators to our garden, but things that reseed themselves, I think I'm going to keep to the bee garden so that they can reseed themselves in there and not in my garden and become weeds next year. So we're gonna do that. These are stringless bush beans. We plant stuff like this every year so that we can have green beans. My family loves green beans. We eat them all winter because I do blanch and freeze them in the summertime. I don't typically can them just because we don't like them as much canned, so I usually freeze them. And we're gonna try fava beans this year. So I'm really excited about those because those are good for snacking and things like that. And peas. We don't always do shelling peas, but this year we're going to give them a shot. So I ordered some Penelope peas or picked some up at Roar Seeds. And we do always do sugar snap peas. We love these. These are actually from last year. These are Cascadia sugar snap peas, and we just kind of eat them off the vine, really. And if we get enough of a harvest of them, which I'm hoping to plant more of them this year, then we will cook them for dinner and with butter and salt and pepper, just all by them. Oh, it's just so good. Delicious, delicious. Okay. So what do we have for brassicas this year? Brassicas, we typically do, at least for this last few years, we've done cauliflower and we've done cabbage. We do a red and a green cabbage. This is specifically for sauerkraut, but both of them make awesome coleslaw. Adam loves to do pulled pork on his grill, and so we'll often have delicious pulled pork sandwiches, and we'll have slaw on top of them with a little bit of his homemade barbecue sauce. My mouth is watering just thinking about it, and homemade sourdough buns. So yeah, really, really good. So I'm really looking forward to that this summer, clearly. So we have cabbage for that and for sauerkraut. We also do cabbage for kimchi. And this past year, I just used our green cabbage, our golden acre cabbage, and it worked great. So typically, I would love to grow a Chinese cabbage, and I think I do have seed for that. Let me see, cabbage. There it is. Yep, Chinese cabbage. So I probably will attempt that again this year, but I might have to look for some sort of hybrid or something like that, because that is another thing that just bolts so quickly and then I never get to actually enjoy them. So I might have to plant it as a fall crop rather than a spring crop and try it that way as well. So that we can have kimchi for the wintertime and actually make it with a Chinese or Napa cabbage. Okay. So we've got the cauliflower. We do typically grow broccoli as well. So we grow broccoli and cauliflower for brassicas. This year I'm really excited because I've had this pickled before. This is Romanesco Italia cauliflower. And it just has those beautiful spirals. And so we're gonna try that and we're gonna pickle it or ferment it or both. I've had it pickled with carrots and regular cauliflower before at a local brewery, and it's just so good. So we're gonna try that and do it ourselves. And also kale. So kale actually has stuck around this year. I haven't been out to the garden to check after the last cold snap because it was really cold, but kale does so well that's actually overwintered just right in the garden. So I have some planted right now. I don't know that it survived this cold, but it often has overwintered in the garden, and then we just have it again for the next year. So what else we have? We have some other things here. We've got leek, we've got kohlrabi, which we're going to do for some slaws, coleslaw and things like that as well, possibly fermenting, pickling. So that's actually something I've never grown before, so we're going to give it a shot because we like coleslaw in our family. Also fennel, which is another great thing in coleslaw and salads and things like that. It is not companion friendly though. It is not friendly to pretty much anything else in the garden, and I can do another video about companion planting, but fennel is something that I'm going to have to not plant near anything else, so probably in a pot or something like that. Leek, going to grow that, as well as onions. Haven't attempted shallots yet, but I would love to do that, so probably will. Also ordered some purple carrot because we were out of that, so purple dragon carrot. I also have Danvers half long in my organizer here, which is right here. So we'll plant some of that. So we have an orange carrot and a purple carrot. Kids love the purple carrots in particular. Oh, nasturtium. I didn't talk about this with flowers, but nasturtium is edible, really pretty for salads and things like that. And it can be a trap crop for things like Japanese beetles. And yeah, so just like a little spice in your salads, and pretty. It's very pretty. Don't need to put that here. I'll put that with my flowers, which are here. There we go. I don't want to put all of my, getting ahead of myself now. There we go. Stuff with seeds in it over here. So don't throw anything away. Okay. Radishes, gonna plant those early this spring because they love cool weather and they do best in cool weather, and they're usually our first crop of something. So radishes, we'll plant those. And let's see. So I was talking about spinach. Here's all of my leafy green type things. I do like to grow a variety of lettuces. So I've got everything from the spinach, which does fit into my leafy green category. It is, I've got black seeded Simpson. I've got all year round, which is like a butter crunch type lettuce, but it does well in all 4 seasons. So I'll probably plant some of this in the greenhouse because last year, we didn't have as cold of a winter, and so we were able to double cover that. So we've got the greenhouse as the main umbrella basically, and then we had a little bit of a plastic row cover that we did inside our greenhouse, and our lettuces survived the whole winter. And so I'm gonna try and do that again this year, especially with extra hardy things like all year round butter crunch type lettuce. Bronze Beauty also did really, really well in our greenhouse through the whole winter. And I do have another all season one that has a little more red in it, just to add a little more color to our salads. I have no idea how to say it. It's French, but it's like Merveille de Quatre Saisons. See, I did my best for you. Don't judge me for my French pronunciation. Yeah, don't do that because I admit that I don't know. So I've also got some devil's ear for some red, and that did really well over the winter as well. So I got these 2 ones that survived really well in the greenhouse in the past. I did do a messlin mix last year, which mostly just the arugula and the black seeded Simpson did well with that. So I'm not sure if I'm going to plant that again this year. The mixes aren't my favorite, so let me see. And I also have just a regular butter crunch that I had from last year. We'll see if I plant that again. I probably will, just because we like to have a variety so that we have a beautiful salad bowl. Okay, squashes. I have winter squash and summer squash here in the same pile. So zucchini, have that. Usually, we end up getting a few baseball bats because they just grow so big. Probably gonna plant a couple of these, but not a ton of them because I just like to freeze it. And my mom loves squash though too, so I'm sure we will plant a few of them, and I will give a bunch of them to them. And they can harvest them themselves so that we can keep up. But I've also got a sugar pumpkin, like a sugar or pie pumpkin here so that we can do pies. I might try to freeze some of it as well so that we can have pies. And also I like to make pumpkin soup in the fall and the winter. Same with this one. This is a Jarrahdale pumpkin, Jarrahdale, and it's more of a gray. So we will decorate with that as well, even though you can eat it in addition. And we have a butternut squash that I'm going to plant this year again. I've only done butternut squash a few times just for space in the garden, and so I'm gonna do it this year. We're gonna do it because we love butternut squash soup and we just love it in general, especially Adam and me. The kids aren't like always excited about squash, but the way that we make it, they tolerate it. So they like it roasted and any other applications other than the soup. So they like the soup and they like it roasted. But if we're just eating it in a different way, they don't love it. Like they don't love spaghetti squash. But okay, so we've also got our crookneck squash. This is mostly for decorating, but you can eat these as well. And we're back to our zucchini. So this is the only summer squash that I grow. Our family isn't big on the yellow squash for the summertime. So we haven't really grown that in the past. Okay, talked about the radish, talked about the leeks, carrots, flowers, we did herbs. We've got peppers, and Adam loves hot peppers, loves them, and loves to experiment with them. So we usually get a different variety every year, even though we do stick to a few varieties of hot peppers. And of course we always grow our California Wonder sweet peppers so that we can use them for fresh eating, the green and the red peppers, because they start green, they turn red, and we eat these, we freeze these. They're great. They're awesome. Big, blocky, sweet peppers. And also we grow banana peppers because we like to pickle these so that we can eat them on sandwiches and whatever in the wintertime. Also, we like to put them on pizza because they're really good that way too. So these start out like that, like neon green, and then they turn red as they get bigger. So it's really pretty as well to can those. And then we've got shishitos, which we've grown for the last several years. They're awesome. Adam loves to grill these. They're just a really great appetizer before you eat something off the grill. So really, really great. And while you have the grill running, you might as well grill up some peppers as well. And then jalapenos, of course, we have to have these. We pickle these as well and stuff them, all kinds of stuff. They're great, jalapenos. And these Craig's Grande aren't like super, super hot. So I can handle them and the kids can handle them as well. Last year we grew yellow habaneros. This year Adam wants to grow some red habaneros. And so we're gonna give that a shot. We need to have at least one super spicy pepper so that Adam can make his spicy pepper jam. The habanero pepper jam that he made last year was awesome. Even I braved the heat and just cried the whole time, even though it was like delicious. I wasn't crying out of sadness. I was crying because it was hot, but it was so worth it. And then we're gonna try these. So this is our new one, especially that we're gonna try this year. So thanks Baker Creek for having awesome selections of chili peppers, hot peppers that we can try for my heat-loving husband. Okay, so that's peppers, and I think that's pretty much what we grow. Oh, that's not true. I also have a habanada. This is Adam's actual favorite, probably. So this is from Baker Creek. Where is it? Hot pepper, hot pepper. Oh, it's not under hot pepper because it doesn't have heat. So habanada, it's what you would guess it is, nada, no heat. So this is a habanada pepper seed container here that I have. I saved some from last year and hopefully they grow the way that I expect them to, but I do have a few seeds left in the package from the year before that I can also try to grow. So we're gonna grow those because they have all of the flavor of a habanero pepper, but they don't have the heat, which is really great. And they're really, really delicious. I've made poppers like cream cheese and like dill and some everything bagel seasoning. They're really good. Yeah, really good for poppers for like Super Bowl party and whatever else. Of course, if they last that long, which they don't because we pick them at the end of the season and then we eat them before February rolls around easily. Otherwise they probably would not survive that long either. Okay, we also have tomatoes. Now in the past, I have grown so many different varieties of tomatoes. I think we had like 30 tomato plants that were all different varieties of whatever one year. I usually do grow heirloom tomatoes because I do like to save the seeds. you do have to be careful with those because they are open pollinated, so you can get a different variety of tomato. But I have grown San Marzano tomatoes for years and years, and they are always my favorite. They are my favorite because you don't have to core them, and they're a paste tomato, so they are just excellent for getting good tomato sauce. This is what a lot of Italians use in my research for their tomato sauces and things like that. So these are highly sought after for Italian food, and we grow them every year, and it's just awesome. They are great, and you don't have to core them, so you can just wash them and make sure that obviously their little green stem is gone. But once you remove the stem, you just wash them and you put them straight into I do my Ninja to blend them up and make sauce. I don't even always peel them. I do when I can them whole. So I like basically blanch them, toss them in a pot of boiling water for 30 seconds, and they start shedding their skins. They do a great job of it. You just push them right out of their skins, and then you can put them directly into your canning jars. So I'll show you how to do that in another video. But yes, always the San Marzano tomatoes. I don't even think we'll plant Amish paste tomatoes this year because a lot of times those do get big, and you do often have to core one or two of those. And so I think that we'll just go with San Marzanos and just grow a whole bunch of them and not worry about it. We use those as our paste tomatoes, but I do love these two varieties for fresh eating because they're delicious. I also love Mortgage Lifter, which is more of a pink tomato. These are the purpley type tomatoes, the Black Crim and the Cherokee Purple. So this year we're probably just gonna grow these for fresh eating. I do also love like the yellow tomatoes and the orange tomatoes. And like I said, the pink Mortgage Lifter. I just didn't buy seeds for them this year because we have these. And so we're just gonna grow a few fresh eating tomatoes this year. And I may not plant cherry tomatoes. I don't know if my mom will want to or not. My family doesn't tend to eat cherry tomatoes very well. We end up just like getting loads and loads of them off of our plants and then not eating them. So if my mom wants to plant one or two of those, then we'll do that. But I am not gonna do that for our little family of 5. Also not pictured is our corn seed, which we also get from Roar Seeds every year, and we do get a hybrid. We currently get Serendipity. We've also done Incredible in the past, but we have Serendipity seed, which I think is at my mom's house right now, my parents' house. And we will plant that this summer because we always grow corn. We grow it succession so that we have multiple harvests throughout the season because we eat corn on the cob like it's our job in the summertime. And then I also like to freeze it with my mom in the end of summer time so that we have it for the winter. We love eating fresh corn all winter. So that is another thing that is not pictured here. And I'm sure that there are other things that are not pictured that I just haven't purchase seed for, or that's a perennial and we just grow in the garden because it just keeps growing back. So like rhubarb, for example, and strawberries for another example. We have loads of strawberries. So there are many things that are not pictured here that we grow just because it keeps coming back after year, and so we do that as well. As far as like carrots go, we also have parsnips. We grew those last year too, and they were delicious and huge. They were absolutely huge. We left them in there for a long time. So the parsnips came up, they were great. We love to roast those as well. Okay, so I haven't like looked at everything that I have in here that's different. There's lavender here. We grow lavender. That is a perennial. The Munstead strain is what we have because we're in zone 6. I know that we got switched to zone 7, but okay, we're in zone 6B. So southern Pennsylvania, and the lavender, the Munstead variety, is a perennial here. So I have seeds in case I need them, but they're from 2024 and it's now 2026, and I don't need them right now because it keeps coming back as a perennial. So I do have those. I do have some other flowers as well, like cosmos and things that I've saved in the past. I also have some of the more vibrant marigolds, like the orange and the red as well. I just really like the white ones, and my youngest picked those out because they'll be extra pretty in our bouquets that we want to plant. So we do have some turnips as well. I'm gonna grow some turnips this year because we love them. We love them in vegetable soup and almost like a mashed potato, like mashed turnips. And that is pretty much what we have. I think I talked about everything, but that is what we grow in our garden. So we do try to grow as many things as we can to feed our family. I do grow onions. I grow those from transplants. So you get like the bunch of onions at the greenhouse, our local greenhouse, and which I will also take you on a tour of that greenhouse as well, or at least give you a preview of what it looks like when we go there, because we do go there every spring, and we like to get some more plants, and also we like to get our onion transplants and a few other little plants to give us a jump start as well. Okay, and I think that's everything we have. We do have some zinnias. Oh, marshmallow. Yes, I am gonna grow marshmallow this year, so I'll let you know how that goes for our medicinal type herbs. But this is a perennial, so I did not put it into my seed organizer. Same thing with yarrow. I think yarrow does grow wild around here, so I probably could forage that, but I don't want to. I want to go out to the garden and just pick it. Same with catnip. Catnip does grow wild around here, but I would really have to go and search for it. So, because they do spray along the roadways and things. So I am going to just grow that in a pot in the garden. Marjoram as well. I'm gonna grow some of that. That is also a perennial. So I'm just gonna plant that this season in the greenhouse, and we will have that continually growing, just like we have oregano growing every year. It's actually huge in our greenhouse, and that survives the winter. The base of it survives the winter, so I do cut it back. And we also have thyme out there, and rosemary. We've been able to overwinter our rosemary in pots for the last couple of winters in our greenhouse, and I'm really hoping that the super cold snaps didn't finally kill them off, because they are hardy down to about 15 degrees, but it's been in the negatives here, so I don't know, we'll have to see. I also got some horehound, which is also a perennial, so I'm gonna plant that, and same with echinacea, purple coneflower. Gonna plant that in the bee garden, and possibly some of that in the main garden as well to attract pollinators, and it's also medicinal. So we're gonna go with that. But yes, I have all of my perennials like in this little part back here, because I am not necessarily going to save them. I did that with my lavender, but this is from years past, and I might not do that going forward. Yeah, so cool. So those are all of our seeds that we have to plant this year, and I will take you with me in the greenhouse when I start planting. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, and if you want to see how we plant seeds and plan the layout of our garden, hit the subscribe button to stay tuned. Thanks for joining us.